Hey, what's up, Carlos? It's a quick demo video for you for your LS6 Gullwing. Just got this done this morning. This Saber is always a bit of a challenge, but I think it came out okay. I think it came out great, actually. It's not just okay, it's great. But I wanted to go over it with you. Okay, so there are some modifications that I do to this guy. One being the control box here. So this piece right here is on with magnets, so you can pull this off, right? It's got two magnets right there that hook onto those two screws. So when you take this off, you'll see that you've got your recharge port right here. So what I do is first thing I do is I take this control box off, I drill a hole straight through this guy so that I can put this recharge port here, and it's nice and hidden, but it's easy access for you. So that works out good. And then the second piece here that you'll see under here is this card. So this card has your two LEDs, your red and your green, and it's got your two switches. I actually buy this card from Kyber Works on Etsy. He makes this card specifically for this hilt, and it works really well because it just has all the components on one PCB. Very nice to wire, fits in great. I've never had a problem with it. I probably use 9 of these. So that's what's going inside the control box. Here is your crystal chamber. Now I know you sent me a few crystals that you wanted me to try out. One with a smoky, had a smoky bottom, but they were all just too big. The chassis that I have designed is designed to be the exact height of this opening. So I did have to use my own crystal in there. I did hand machine these rods. I don't have lathes or mills or anything like that. I do all my stuff with a Dremel and a hand drill, basically, or a drill press. So I did hand make these 3 rods. I did bend them in slightly with a torch. Put some mesh here behind here in the chamber. I think it lights up really well. We'll go over that here in a second. Now to get to your board, if you ever need to, what you want to do is just unscrew this pummel cap. If you ever need to get to your sound card or anything like that. And so what you'll find here is this is your speaker housing. So the speaker housing does come out. It's a little tight. So you just want to, if it's being tight on you, just give it a little bit of a twist, let it pop loose. I make it tight on purpose so that it doesn't wobble around. And when you pull it out, the wires here are coiled up. I'm trying to get that on camera. The wires here are coiled up. And then you have access to your SD card and your micro USB right there. And then when you're done, just as you're pushing the speaker back in, just coil the wires back up, and then this speaker housing slides back into place just like that. And then this pummel cap gets screwed on over it. So you'll notice the speaker housing is it comes out further than the speaker because it's actually what keeps the speaker drum off the back of this guy so you don't get any sound distortion. So we're going to throw that on. To put a blade on, what you're going to want to do is don't unscrew this part. I hand tightened this down as best I could, but I didn't glue it. This is where I've got my wires going. Your battery is sitting right here. So you never want to unscrew this part. You just want to unscrew this. So what you probably want to do is just hold on to it like this. Unscrew the emitter. And this is how you get to your blade retention screws. So you've got 2 of them. You got one right here, and you've got one right here. So I've got a test blade. We're going to put our test blade in it, right? Or you got your Shtok NPXLs in there too that I'll show you. So in order to get this guy on, your blade retention screws have to be engaged into the socket. So in order to put your blade in, you're going to have to back them out. So we'll back those out real quick. This is a bit of a challenging build. I had a customer that I did one of these for one time come to me, and he told me that another installer turned it down and had mentioned to him that no reputable installer would touch this guy, but I'm not reputable. So I'll do it. I like them. So now that we've got the blade retention screws engaged and it's holding in the blade, you don't have a whole lot of blade depth, so you're going to want to be careful. This thing's not really for dueling. It's more of a shelf queen. Can swing it around a little bit though. So you want to take this emitter and slide it over your blade and lock it in place, just like that. Screw it all the way down. So we're gonna come over here, we're gonna pull our kill key. Put the clamp card back on and turn this guy on. I'll do that again. This back button here, that's gonna be your activation. And then when you hit your activation, your blade lights up, and then that's what initializes your LEDs right here. This button right here is your auxiliary, so if we tap it, we just get blaster deflex. If you have a full-length blade, you'll see it randomly on your blade. But if you hold the auxiliary down, you'll get blade lockup that looks like this, and then you'll also get a different, you get a different animation on your LEDs. For that power surge, right? Now, if you want to change color, oh, sorry, let me show you the crystal chamber too. So crystal chamber lights up, it'll always be the same color as the blade, and it mimics the blade. So if you're holding down the auxiliary for blade lockup, you're gonna see that in your crystal too. Now, if you want to change color with this guy, hold down your auxiliary button and twist your wrist. Sorry. Spectrum. You'll hear spectrum. Now you can twist the Saber like this to pick whatever color you want. Every time it clicks, it's a different color. So if we wanted blue, we'd stop on blue and just tap a button. You hear that sound. Now your blade is blue, and your crystal is blue. Right? Now for blade effects, when you've got the Saber on, hold down your aux and twist your wrist again, but then this time keep the button held down. Spectrum. Keep holding it. Blade profiles. Blade profiles. Now we can twist the hilt again. And every time you hear it click, it's a different blade effect. So if we like that one, we'll just tap a button, right? So you got your blade. Blade is doing kind of a randomized thing, and so is your crystal. And then we just turn it off with the back button. Now to get to your sound fonts when the blade is off, hold down your auxiliary button. Sound selection. And you can use either button to cycle up or down. That's a Britney Spears. That's a Britney Spears font for you to play with at home. I must have said this 100 times, and I think it's funny every time. Because my buddy Joe in Smugglers hates it. So I just think it's so funny, man. But anyway, when you find one that you like, hold a button down. You will bring Captain Solo and the Wookiee to me. And then there you go. Right? But anyway, that is how you operate your blade, and then you charge it obviously through the recharge port here. And then when you're not using it, you know, even though CFX has a deep sleep mode, I would suggest just taking the kill key and go ahead and putting it in there. That way you don't have to worry about it. And then that, sir, is the functionality of your Saber. I hope it came out the way you like. Thanks.